So welcome back to Sarah and Lee. Let's continue getting Sophia ready for Europe.
It's day 3 of Sophia's makeover. So over the weekend we did some painting. So the painting's done, and I've gone over with a lacquer today, although got taken by surprise by a little surprise rain shower, so I don't know how that's quite going to work out, but we'll check that out when the rain's dried up a little bit. Hopefully I can bring it back. And we're back in Sofia, so the framework is drying out quite nicely, so we're going to treat that in the next couple of days and start putting that back together again. And the next job is to put a little shelf in. So if you recall from previous videos, our bed lies from the front of the van to the back, but when we're in bed we've got no shelf to put our coffee or our Prosecco, as Sarah will tell me, while we're watching a movie or something in bed. So Sarah has instructed me to put in a little shelf, and we're going to go here. So the plan is to put a little shelf in here, but because this bench that I'm sat on flips up, I'm going to put in a folding shelf with these folding brackets that we got off Amazon. Bargain, 8 quid I think, 9 quid. And yeah, so that shelf can come out when we're using it and go away when we're not using it. So I've got some wood, I'll cut that down to size and see if we can't install a folding shelf, which I think is probably one of the laziest things we've done.
So the bit of wood has been cut, Lee has primed it and has given it its first paint of coat for our tiny little shelf. It's looking quite good, really pleased. Let's see how this turns out.
Okay, so the spray job is done. And this is how she's looking. She needs a wash. Don't look too closely, there is a couple of runs in it and a couple of rough areas, but overall looking much healthier. So that wall's dried out as much as it's going to dry out, so I'm going to treat the wood with some Ronsil. Does exactly what it says on the tin, and I'll leave that overnight and then we'll start putting the wall back together, I guess. So we've used this before, this is really good stuff. Let's just hope it does the job. I still can't find a leak, so I think I'm going to have to do some more looking about for that. I think it's to do with the Fiamma blind that is attached. Okay, so that's the wood hardener on, so that takes a couple of hours to go off. So in the meantime I will go off and start cutting the plywood to go over that. But first, we're nearly there with the little coffee shelf, and this is probably the most important job of the van, I reckon. Yeah. So we're going to try and put this shelf up. So it's only a 9mm shelf.
So we've run into our first issue. Unfortunately, Lee has come through the outside of Sophia. As you can see, that's the screw. This is the door. That's the window. And this is the screw from where my Prosecco shelf is going to be. How'd you do that, hun?
That's the size of screw that's gone in that bracket, and it's come all the way through. So I mean, that's bad, isn't it?
Bad workmanship or bad Sophia?
Bad workmanship. Bad Sophia.
Yeah.
So Sarah and I have gone a little bit further. So we've cut all the wood out for the bit that we took off that we showed you, but we've been brave and we've come across the top here. So as you can see, we have had some damp in here now. This has been off for 24 hours and it's already drying out. I still think that this is the culprit, so we're going to try and repair this. To repair this, I've got to try and take the blind off a little bit and then build some sort of spacer so I can spread the weight because the bolt is pulling through, and then see if I can seal the bolt on the outside, because I think that's what's caused the problem all down this wall, because I've checked all around the seals, I've been on the roof, and this seems to be the most likely and most obvious place.
And we've had rain, haven't we, in the last couple of days?
And not got wet, so it's a bit surprising because the blind is, the nut for the blind on the other side is undercover.
But that is broke.
But water is water, isn't it? So we'll, I don't know. And we did have a hole in the roof. If you remember, if you saw our very first videos, or one of our very first videos, there was a hole in the roof.
Because we've got damage in this cupboard here.
This cupboard's got damage in the back that I'm looking to repair because Sarah doesn't like that. So yeah, the last thing I can think of is this nut, or it's just damp, and it's just been damp where it's been damaged in the past, and we've taken the cover off and it's drying out now. But that's another repair. But we're not scared of ripping the walls off at the moment because we know that we can
fix it,
bodge it. So yeah, so let's see how this goes.
So this is the shelf complete. This is what it looks like when it's down. And then to make it into the Prosecco shelf, there we go. Perfect little shelf. And then to take it back down, she says,
I need 2 hands.
Oh, I need 2 hands. I need 2 hands. There we go. All done.
Yeah, so we took the bolt out of the top of the blind.
That was hard work.
That was hard. That was certainly in there. Probably didn't help that we painted over the thread, but that is out. So what I've done is I've just cut out a spreader, so that's going to distribute the weight a little bit better. There's a new washer in there, a bigger washer to help with that, and that's just on there temporarily for now. The Sophia's going into the garage in the morning or in the afternoon, and it
needs to be secure.
So that just needs to be secured to get her there. When we get her back, we will take that back off. I will put some sealant on the other side, and hopefully we won't get any more problems from that. There's still a bit of drying out on there, but like I said, I will take that off and then we'll put it back on properly.
We're going to treat all the wood, aren't we?
Treat all the wood, build this back up so it's nice and smooth. That's going to be painted back to grey if we've got some, otherwise we'll be at a paint shop. And yeah, hopefully this wall's not going to give us any more problems. I'm convinced that's the problem. It's either that or it was a problem that I've already fixed.
Yeah.
I just cannot find anywhere else, unless it's hidden behind the blind that I can't get to without taking the whole thing off, and I am not that brave. Okay, so it's Friday and we're back in the van. Sophia has just got back, so she's been down the garage since this morning, and she has had a CV boot done. She's had a new brake pipe on the front, and she's had her exhaust just fixed up. That was rattling a bit, and they've also given her a once over. So I asked them to have a look over the engine and some other bits and tell me if they foresaw anything that stopped us doing a European road trip. Understanding she's a 34-year-old van, and with any vehicle any problem can pop up at any time, but they've given her a once over and they've said at this point they can't see anything they need to do or anything they would recommend us doing, and don't see a reason why she couldn't go on the trip. So at the moment it's all thumbs up and ready to go. So over the last week we've done some spray painting, we're fixing the damp, we're getting through a few of the jobs that we've got to do, and I think now we can go ahead and order that window and yeah, get cracking. So you're going to see us continuing getting ready for our, well, what I think will be a European road adventure. So let's get cracking, get this job done. Okay, so we're just getting ready for the first panel to go back on. Let's see if this goes back on. Back on its on for the first time.
So this piece of wood has been wood treated as well. The wall's been wood treated. So it's all treated.
Okay, so welcome back to Saturday morning, and I am back in my overalls, back in Sofia, and ready for our second weekend of Sophia's makeover. So I am about to sand down the sidewall, which has all been done and treated, and I'm getting that ready for, well, part of it's going to be have the vinyl tiles on it, and part of it's just going to be painted. So we really liked the stick-on tiles we had before, but we couldn't find them again, so we've had to replace them. And that's the affected area. So I've just put some wood filler in places just to fill in some of the gaps. That's the new wood there. So that's all been sealed in. And that's an old bit of wood there which has been treated. That's why it looks so dark, with some wood filler in the top, which I was struggling with because it was a bit old and going off quick. And you can see there's the new nut and bolt that holds the Fiamma awning on, with a spacer plate on it, just to spread some of that load. That was pulling right through the wall, and we think that's where the damp was coming from. So let's get that sanded down and ready. Right, that's what we're left with. a relatively smooth surface. Doesn't matter too much on there because that's being tiled. So I will start the tiling very shortly. I'm not sure what I want to do with that at the moment. It's still a bit patchy, but it's relatively smooth, but I'm a bit worried it will show up in the paint. So I'll have a think about that one. But it's looking better. The first tile is on. These are really easy to put on, just sticky back plastic, and whereas the other ones had to be cut round various shapes, these ones are just squares. So I've got at least a couple of easy ones before the fun starts around the corners, but yeah, first one on. Here we go then. So we're starting, we've had some good easy tiles to start on. We're starting to cut around the cupboard and into some smaller spaces now, but I don't know, is Mrs. B happy so far? Mrs. B is happy. So yeah, we're only tiling this bit here. I will say that will be painted or something else, but let's see how we go.
So the next job for today is to change all of the sticky back plastic that we've got on our surfaces in the kitchen area. Since we've changed the kitchen, they're looking a bit grubby, so we've bought some more. It's actually a thicker one, so we're hoping it will last a bit longer. Last time we did this, which would have been when we first got Sophia, Lee and I nearly got a divorce. So fingers crossed we managed to keep our shit together today. Do you think?
You just told them, wouldn't you?
Yes. So this is what it looks like right now, and then we'll show you what it looks like at the end. So this is the old countertops.
Very 90s.
So many hours later, but absolutely zero arguments. I think we've obviously done well.
Teamwork's the dream work, I reckon.
Yeah. So really pleased with how it's gone on. It's looking really good. Not so keen on the new tile effect. I think it kind of clashes with the kitchen, but giving us an 8 out of 10, do you think?
Well, that's what you get when you buy off Amazon, I guess.
Yeah, but take a little look at this. Not too bad, not too shabby.
So that's it. Sophia's kitchen is now done. The new tiles are on. We've finished the worktops. And please let us know in the comments what you think. I will put a disclaimer in at this point that this is not a how-to video. This is just the way that we've done things. As you know, Sophia's 34 years old and we're just trying to keep her on the road as much as we can and keep her as nice inside as we possibly can. So hopefully what we've done works, but please don't take it as a how-to video. If you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.